Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Allen. This is NBA Weekly, the show where once a week I talk about things that happened previously in the association and things I'm looking forward to in the coming days. First story I want to mention, Bosh. He was admitted to the hospital because he wasn't feeling well, and right now they're still currently running tests to determine if maybe he has a blood clot in his lungs. And this is especially scary because Jerome Kersey just died of something very similar to this. And so, I make fun of Bosh a lot, but in all honesty, this is something very scary that he must be dealing with. So I wish you all the best of luck in your recovery, and I sincerely hope that you come through this alive. There's a good chance he's not going to play again this season. And I just, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever ends up happening, whatever steps you need to take, just take your time to recover and hopefully return to the court so I can make fun of you some more. And now we're on to the news. First of all, no shock here, Melo shut down for the season. We saw that coming. Amare Stoudemire, his contract was bought out by the Knicks, and then the Mavericks later swooped in and picked him up. And then, of course, the biggest news from this week, we have the trade deadline. It's one of the most exciting ones I've witnessed in my life. A lot of people on the move, 11 trades involving 37 different players. And the ones that stood out the most to me, definitely you've got the Thunder picking up DJ Augustin, Enes Kanter, Steve Novak, Kyle Singler. They're definitely a much improved bench. A lot more scoring from the reserves. That's been a weakness of theirs. And everyone's saying that this is they're the biggest winners of the day. But someone that could compete with them, possibly the Bucks. They ended up adding Michael Carter-Williams. That was the biggest shock of the day for me. Apparently the 76ers have already given up on him being their future star. I don't understand it. But the Bucks now have Michael Carter-Williams, Tyler Enes, and Miles Plumlee. Plumlee, he may not, he's no Mason, but he's still, he's better than most of what they got on their roster now. They got rid of Brandon Knight. I don't understand what happened with Larry Sanders. He was supposed to be good when he came in. I don't know what the deal is. But the Bucks, they've added some young talent to an already good roster. And if you look at it, this year they're already right now in playoff contention. And all they have to do is, if they're just a 500 team the rest of the way, they'll still be in the playoffs. And then you've got all of these young people who already this early get to get some good, valuable experience, and then they'll just continue to grow. They've got a great young core with guys like Carter Williams, and they've already got Giannis on their over there, the Greek Freak. I mean, this is a team that could be scary and could, in a few years, easily develop into the class of the Eastern Conference. And they've got Jason Kidd as their head coach. He's a very smart basketball mind. I think this is a team that could end up benefiting from this trade more than anyone else, long-term speaking. And then there's also the Miami Heat, who pick up Goran Dragic from the Suns. They also picked up Zoran, but And it's a great addition. That definitely improves their chances. However, with the news that Bosh could potentially miss the rest of the season, it's gonna be harder without him there. And Dwayne Wade, he's getting old, but he's been old. That's not a shock. But I definitely feel with the addition of Goran Dragic and the development of Hassan Whiteside, this team has good. Those two can both be cornerstones of this team. The Heat have been pretty weak at the point guard position for as long as I can remember, and now they've got a good guard and a good center, and that they can build on. And if they're 100% healthy, they are contenders this year and next. So they've got a good roster. Also a lot of other things happening on. Tayshaun Prince returned to the Pistons. Kevin Garnett returned to the Timberwolves. A lot of stuff going on. There's going to be a link in the description below. We're going to move on to a few games to look forward to in the coming week. First of all, on Saturday, You've got the Raptors at the Rockets. These two teams playing each other for the first time this season. As of right now, they've got nearly identical records. The Raptors firmly in that second seed in the East, but the Rockets in the Western Conference, where one win does nothing and one loss can knock you down 1 or 2 spots. So keep all of this in mind when you try to compare their records, for these two teams. But I think for the fact that they're healthy, that alone, I'd pick the Raptors to get this one, because the Rockets, until they get Howard back, I don't think they're legitimate contenders. I think they're gonna be in the playoffs for sure, but it would be a first-round exit without that big man dominating in the middle. I mean, nothing against Harden. He's amazing, and without him, they'd be a sub-500 team by now. But still, you need at least a 1-2 punch. Right now, they've got Harden. He's a good hook shot, but they don't have any other finishers. Then on Sunday, you've got the Wizards at Pistons. When Jennings went down, I thought the Pistons season was over, but they've still managed to play well at times, and they've beaten some decent teams. So, they're only a couple games out of the playoffs right now, and Washington is a team that's been sliding lately. This game right here could tell us a lot about both of these clubs, and it could really go a long way to determining how their seasons end up ending and where they end up. Then you've also got the Grizzlies at the Blazers. Grizzlies have a stronghold on that second seed and can win the season series versus the Blazers, who are barely in the top 4 right now. And I'm going to keep saying this until the season ends. Pay close attention to the Western Conference standings, because there's just going to be a ton of shuffling these last couple months. Monday, you've got the Bucks at the Bulls, and as of recording this video, this is a first-round playoff matchup. That's part of the reason why you should consider watching this. Also, from what I understand, 2 of their new additions are gonna be in the lineup by then. Not sure about MCW at the moment, but what I can say is the Bulls can wrap up their season series here, or the new-look Bucks can, try to make a statement win. And then you've also got the Grizzlies at the Clippers. These guys have a very fun rivalry, and this will be the first of 2 matchups this week. The other one will be on, I think, Thursday or Friday. I'll get back to that later. And then the Clippers, honestly, lately they've looked better without Blake Griffin. Here's the problem. I think Blake kind of shot himself in the foot this offseason because he worked to improve his outside jumper, but now he's settling for those long-range shots instead of just pounding out the paint and imposing his will, and I think with him gone, they're doing a lot more of that. You're seeing Jordan get those 20-20 games. He's pounding it out inside. They just keep feeding the beast and dominating on the block. And you know what? That aspect is what makes this game look so exciting to me. Just seeing that interior battle between these 2 clubs. And then on Tuesday, you've got a few games that look good. You've got the Warriors at the Wizards, 2 of the top guards in the league squaring off. You've got Cavs at Pistons, and the Cavs looking unstoppable right now. But the Pistons are a team that I feel might be capable of pulling an upset. You've got the Raptors at the Mavs. The Mavs hoping for a clean sweep of the season series, while the Raptors trying to grab the split. Wednesday night, you've got Mavs at Hawks. You've got a Hawks team that is firmly entrenched in that number 1 seed in the East, looking to make a sweep for the season series, versus the Mavs trying to climb back up into the playoff standings. You've also got the Clippers at the Rockets. Clippers looking not only to leap over the Rockets in the standings, but also win the season series against them. You've got the Spurs at the Blazers. Portland has a chance to win the season series, or the Spurs could split it and raise their playoff seeding. You've also got the 76ers at the Bucks, which I'm only putting in here because wouldn't that be great if Michael Carter-Williams made his Bucks career debut against the team that drafted him? And then on Thursday, you've got the Warriors at the Cavs. This has got to be my game of the week. These are 2 of the most exciting teams to watch as of late. The Warriors, they got the win when they played back in Golden State in January, but let's see if the Cavs can, pull off something here, because they've been looking great lately. They've been dominating. And then on Friday, you've got the Warriors at the Raptors, some of the best backcourt duos in the league squaring off. That's going to be fun to watch. You've got Clippers at Grizzlies, and whatever I said for the other one still applies here. And then last but not least, you got the Blazers at the Thunder, their division rivals. The Thunder, they fought their way back into the playoffs, but they'll probably need to keep winning if they want to stay there. And I say probably because the Phoenix looks a lot weaker after the trade. And the Pelicans, I just don't see them as anything other than a 500 team right now, so we'll see. The Thunder, they can probably afford a few losses and still stay in the playoffs. That being said, if they want to climb up a few spots in this ranking, they could consider trying to win a few of these games. But it's not like it's going to kill them not to. So, that's it for this edition of the NBA Weekly. Tune in next week for another all-new episode. But until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. Have a good week, and good luck to Bosh. Really rooting for you, buddy.